So welcome to the SPJIMR form filling session. Now, the interesting thing about SPJIMR is that they have started the PGDM business management program last year. Till now, or at least till last year, SPJIMR, by the way, there is something else called SPJIMR also, which is a sister, which is not actually even a sister concern. It's two different colleges, two different institutes as such. But what we are discussing is the SPJIMR basic group, the group that everybody knows as SPJIMR. And till last year, they used to be this used to be probably the only college or only B school in the country which wanted you to decide which stream you will take up in your management. Like there were 4 streams: finance, marketing, operations, and information technology, and you had to, or information management, and you had to take one of the, or you had to tick one of these 4 even at the time of application itself. If you look at the IIMs, Excel, FMS, any other institute, the first year is always a generalized MBA, and the second year is where you get into specializations. This was different almost always. Of course, there are HR colleges that we talk about, but the thing changed in SPJIMR from last year when they also introduced the business management program. Now, obviously, people will have a question mark saying that, is it going to be as good as the normal PGDM program, which is, the 4 branches? My bet is, coming as it does from SPJIMR in Mumbai, I don't think you should have any doubt about looking at both the BM course as well as the normal PGDM course. So we look at the college information, the fees, the eligibility, the placements, and more importantly, the form filling guidelines. This is the only institute which will give you a profile call, the top institute, which will give you a profile call even before the CAT results are out. And hence, filling this form correctly will make a huge difference. So let's look at the basics. SPJIMR Mumbai is a PGDM, or a postgraduate diploma in management. They also, this is their flagship program, and they also now have introduced the PGDM in business management. The exam is obviously CAT or GMAT. You can apply, by the way, write GMAT also. Expected cutoff, if you also have a profile, is 97 percentile. But by the way, just for information, if you have a profile and you get a profile call, the minimum percentile required is only 85 percentile in CAT. The fees are in the 20 lakh range. The interesting thing, of course, is the placement. The placements at SPJIMR Mumbai has been phenomenal for a very, very, very long time. The average CTCs have gone up as high as 30 plus lakhs, 32 lakhs last year. So let's look at very quickly some of the important information or pieces of information that you want to know. Registration does begin on 30th of September. It's already begun for those of you who are looking at it now. And the closing of registration is on the 25th of November. Now, this is important to notice that the exam is on 27th of November. Among many institutes which take or which have the last date after the CAT exam, and even sometimes after the result of the CAT exam, there are a very few institutes like SPJIMR, FMS, MDI Gurgaon, even IMT Ghaziabad, it tries to do that, but they open up a second time, whose last date for application is before you write the CAT exam itself. This time it's 25th November because the exam is on 27th. In other words, they are asking you to take a call saying that, hey, if you're interested, don't wait for your CAT. If you're good, if you think you're good, if you have a profile also for that matter, and if you can get an 85 plus percentile, you should look at applying to this institute. If you pay separately, it's 2,000 for each of the programs. But if you pay it together, it's 3,000 rupees for both the PGDM and the PGDM BM put together. Eligibility criteria is same as every other eligibility criteria, my friends. There is no difference, 50% marks on graduation. But here, like the CAT exam, you also have to look at all the subjects which are there in your 10th and 12th mark sheet. 50% is always going to be minimum, but don't expect that if you have 50%, you will get it. Final year students also can apply, provided you can showcase that you will finish the degree requirements by the 31st of December 2023, that is next year, because obviously you are starting off in June, July next year. The shortlists, this is important. The shortlists are going to be based first. There are going to be two shortlists. One shortlist is going to be based on the profile. The second shortlist is going to be based on the CAT score or the GMAT score for that matter. So what do they ask you? They also expect you to meet the qualifying scores in one of the entrance examinations, even after you get to a profile. Now, here is a very, very straightforward answer to a question which can come in, saying that, sir, they called me for a profile, but I did not get 85 percentile, or my GMAT is not good enough. Do you think I should go into an interview room? Answer is no, you don't. Because if you don't have the minimum individual sectional percentiles, which is, I think, 70, 70, 70, and an overall percentile of 85 in each of the three sections put together, then there's no point in going into the interview, even if you have a profile score. Keep that in mind. So the first phase will be only profile. In fact, the interviews will happen as early as January itself. And of course, profile come score-based things in the second phase, where immediately after the CAT score comes in, the interviews happen, and the shortlist happen. The interviews typically are expected in the first week or the second week of February. What are the form filling steps? Some of the most important things I want you to take care of so that you don't miss out. Very, very quickly, you need to know the PGDM admissions.spjimr. You can go through that. Make sure that you have a new registration, pick it up. It's very, very similar to every other exam. You need to first register with your name, email ID, phone number, and a password of your choice. Then once you get into the dashboard, you can straight away apply for PGDM and PGDM BM. Now, depending on whether, if you have only want to look at one, you can look at only one also. Make sure that you read all the instructions, friends, nothing much. Choose your program. And when you are choosing the program, you need to give your first choice and the second choice. Let's say the first choice is the PGDM, which is your, the flagship program. Even under that, they will ask you to choose two things: the preference of the branch 1 and a preference of the branch 2. There are 4 branches: marketing, finance, ops, and information management. It is also important for you to understand that if you don't have any relevant background, it may be difficult to get shortlisted, if especially in operations and information management. For example, you can write that anybody can apply. By the way, any BA, BCom, BSc, BTech guy can apply, or BTech, MBBS for that matter also. However, if I'm saying that I'm interested in finance and there's nothing relevant about finance that you have in your CV, very likely that they will not even shortlist you. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. And PGDM, BM doesn't make any difference. There is no such specialization as such. Now, this is important. The reasons for your preferred programs. For example, there are 4 reasons given to you. Your graduation is in the related area. Relevant work experience you have for any of the 4 areas. Like, for example, if you're working with TCS, CTS, HCL, Infosys, Wipro, whatever, or any technology company, and you are applying for an information management, you can apply that relevant work experience. Or if you have done any specialized course in the chosen area. If you have nothing of this sort, then the only answer that you can pick up is specialized interest in the area, something like that. Then other instructions, personal information will be the first one, where you will give your first name, middle name, last name, gender, date of birth, age, category. Now the age is on 31/12/2022. The category, if you belong to nationality, and of course, if you have a passport, you need to give it, and uploading all your files for that, the passport photograph. Then I'm not going to waste too much of time on this because the relevant questions will come in later. The mobile, the parent's mobile number, the primary email ID. If you have an alternate email ID, makes sense, please give it, because it's a compulsory field. The country, the state, the district, correspondence, and PIN code. Is the permanent address the same as communication address also? You need to make sure that you give yes or no. You cannot anyway go to the next step without filling these steps. The rest of the information, click on next. You will find, if you get, now this is an important point. If you get shortlisted and clear round 1, the online interview, Are you willing to appear for round 2 at the SPJIMR campus in Mumbai? You can say yes or no, and it's not going to make any difference to your candidature. But if I were to give you an advice, I would say, please say yes without fail. The reason is very simple. Always, when you go to a campus, when you speak to your seniors at that point of time, or the prospective seniors that exist, you can get a lot of download from them and the vibe of the college or the institute. And I think you will be in a better position to take a decision. Okay. The required information on 10th, 12th, mode of study for UG, what is the pattern of examination? Is it a semester system? It's a yearly system. Whether status is in progress or result awaited, or you're in the final year or finished and you got your scores and waiting for the final results, whatever it is. I think these are very, very straightforward information requirements that you need to go ahead and fill it up. Similarly, if you have a post-graduation, put it. If you don't have, leave it. Now, there's one more point at the very beginning. If you look at it, if you have an academic break or any other special conditions, you can put it up. Now, when you talk about an academic break, it could be between 12th class and your degree, or after degree and your, let's say, master's. But if there is a gap of 6 months or 1 year before you take up a job, that is not called an academic break. Keep that in mind is what I would say. Professional qualifications, if you have any, make sure that you put it across. Now, then we look at other things like, if at all there are professional qualifications, you can give up to 3. Important certifications of that will be required too. As usual, make sure that you keep saving and going to the next one on a regular basis. If you want to exit in between, you can exit and come back to this also. Okay. Then work experience, if there is any. What is the name of the organization, industry, function, gross CTC, designation, start date, and describe your role briefly. Now, almost when you talk about a role, what exactly? Manager, don't write it, I'm a manager. Write down what are the KRAs or key result areas or key functional areas that you are responsible for. Key result areas are KRAs, as we call it in the normal parlance. You can look at that. Then we talk about if there is any award. Now, this is important here. These 3 points are going to be important on achievements. If any academic achievement, you have to furnish details there, and only 3 can be given. What is the title of the award? Institute awarding, the year. Now, award position. It's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th level. Is it national, international, district, school level, whatever it is. And then a 25-word description of what this award is. If you have international awards or national awards or district awards or state awards in that sense, you will obviously get a better scores for that. Similarly, versatility. Look at this. The first one is achievement they can give you. The next one is versatility. What kind of a versatility? What all these different things that you have done? For example, you are a painter, you are a musician, you are a sports person, you are a footballer, whatever, sports, creative writing, blogger, YouTuber, I don't know what it is. But the name of the activity, maximum 5. What is your interest level? Is your interest level very high, medium, or low? What is your proficiency? Where is high, low, or etc. Then award, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever, gold, silver, etc. kind of thing. Level, once again, international level, national level, district level, or state level, district level, and panchayat level, or school level, or university level, whatever it is, and the description. It is self-clear. Your interest has to be clear. You can't say that my interest is very high and the lower level that you write is it's like not even a school level kind of thing. So please be clear about what you write and be very honest here, as much as the honesty can help you get there. The next is the responsibility that you have shouldered. Again, what level of responsibility? Professional as well as personal, and describe it very, very clearly. Now, there's one more question they're going to ask you prior to that, is the overall versatility rating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of things. So you be very, very clear about what is the rating that you want to give it to yourself. They will also calculate it, don't worry about it. And ideally, you don't say that everything is versatility, is I'm like the most versatile person and give yourself the highest rating kind of things. Makes no sense. Make sure that you are giving a objective answer. Maybe not 0, maybe not 2, maybe more than that. Then this doesn't make any difference. Where did you learn this from? Are you interested in what other programs that you're interested in? This is not going to kind of, this is more of a marketing game. It doesn't matter. They want to figure out whether you are come from a coaching institute, a Google search engine, or a newspaper, or a QS store, rankings, etc., so that they will understand where are their customers coming from. Now, whether it's a CAT exam or a GMAT exam, the information, CAT result status, it's obviously awaited. I think they will give you a chance after the CAT results come in to update this also later on. They will give you that chance. Then, of course, the parents' details, mother's details, siblings' details. But the last part of the form is probably the most important part of it. First one, state 10 random things about you. Each statement should not be more than 10 words. Keep that in mind. A few examples are in another life, I was in an RJ. In meta life, I was something else. I own a t-shirt that says, sin, repent, repeat. Let's say, I'm just kidding. That's mine. Sin, repent, repeat, whatever. I wish I was a bird. I believe it's in one's life. I have, another, let's say, for example, I believe that there's only one life to live. Live life to the fullest. Something like that. You know, live life king size. Okay, don't do that. That's GFFK, the gold flake filter kings ka, the tagline. Don't do that. But again, write down, I'm an astrologer. I like palmistry. I know Vastu Sastra. Something which is completely different and you don't know. Nobody else, or most of them, will not realize the first time you meet kind of things. That are the 10 points, exactly 10 random things you write. Don't put 11, don't put 9. And don't make sure that they are not more than 10 words. Then 2 more sentences, 2 more, very, very important questions which come in, which also, apart from the versatility part of it, this and whatever else you have, this part will make a difference. Think of a situation where you did not achieve the desired goal. What were your learnings from the experience? Desired goal is not just about writing CAT 2 years back and did not get through, and therefore you came back and wrote CAT again. That's not called learning. Learnings can be in projects, learning can be in your schools, learnings can be in your personal lives, learnings can be, you have taken certain things for granted. Let's say, for example, money for granted, and suddenly in COVID, you lost your job, your parents lost your job, and suddenly you understood the importance of money, and then you started saving over the last couple of years. Whatever. Your achieved goal, why you did not achieve, what did you learn from this? I think these are the 3 points that you need to put it across. And the last one is describe a situation in which you believed a certain approach was morally right, but your point of view was in conflict with other points. How did you handle this dilemma? Many people ask this question. Warren Buffett says that this is a very interesting question. He says, this is one thing I ask, or Peter Thiel, I don't know, one of them big guys, because it shows that you are ready to take up anything contrary. You are ready to take up a contra view, especially if it's a moral contra view. You may be failing, you may not have prevailed. Your boss would have prevailed, for example. Somebody else would have prevailed, but how did you handle this dilemma? For example, it could be a possibility that in a job, your boss says, we need to give a bribe, and you say, I didn't want to give a bribe for, let's say, a client, or to the municipality corporation, or to the income tax wala, or to the GST wala, or somebody else. You did not want to do it, your boss wanted to do it, or the account head wanted to do it because it will make life easier, what did you do? How did you pick it up? You may be junior, you may be senior, depends on that. And whether you prevailed or not, you need to pick it up. And more important than prevailing or not prevailing, what did you and how did you handle this dilemma? Okay. And what is the learning that you got? If you can do that, my friends, these are the three very, very important questions, which can be asked in the interview also later on. The versatility part of it, the achievements part of it. If any one of you have any achievements, let's say even in Coco, in international or national meets, I think that's going to help. Any presentation of paper in the international research journals definitely helps. Keep that in mind, describe that properly. If you have a great profile, especially great profile, I'm saying if you have 60, 70 kind of percentages, don't apply unless you think that you'll get a 99.9 percentile. Don't bother applying it, simply because SPJIMR will not take you. But if you have a decent profile, and I'm using the word decent profile, it's about 85% in 10th, 12th, and probably 75% or 80% in degree, along with something else, extracurricular or co-curricular or curricular itself, some gold medal, some silver medal, some, for example, Olympiads, for example, any Olympiads or SFOs, science Olympiads, math Olympiads, IMOs, any international Olympiads, or NTSC, any of those things will really, really help you get an interview call through a profile. Okay. With that, I think if there are questions, have you ever been found responsible for academic or disciplinary misconduct? Yes or no, whatever it is. Have you ever been convicted or adjudicated guilty of any offense, etc., etc.? Please say yes or no. And that is it. And have you ever sought help from a medical professional? This is again more medical history, where they just want to make sure this is not going to preclude for you from getting into an institute. They just want to make sure that they know your medical history if it happens. Then after that, lastly, passport, Aadhaar copy in your PDF format. They're very, very clearly given 2 MB is the limit. 2 MB is the limit. Once you do that, upload your mark sheets in PDF format for the 10th mark sheets, 12th mark sheets, graduation mark sheets, and if there is any professional qualification mark sheets. Once you do that, and if there are any work ex proofs and achievements proof, if any, please put them into one single PDF and put it across. What is the work experience that you can look at? The joining letter, the current job last pay slip, and if there is a previous job, the work experience letter that you have. Every one of these up to 2 MB, you can put it across. Achievement proof, once again, a single PDF of all the achievements that you want to put it across, and that will be done. You agree to declare, pay the form, pay the payments, make the payments, and you will be done. SPJIMR is a very, very good institute, one of the top 10 institutes in the country. If you can get through there, it's also in Mumbai, has an amazing advantage, especially in the finance and marketing domains. Of course, it's also in the other good domains too. And with the PGDM, BM coming up, I think it has become a very, very hot thing in the campuses. So make sure that you do apply if you have the right credentials, like I said. And more importantly, do like and subscribe to our Career Launcher channel. These kind of videos will continue to come to you. Very informative, very useful. And if you like it, please like this video. Give your comments at the end of it. We will be very happy to answer them as we go along. Thank you so much. All of us from Career Launcher wish you all the best.